I used to not like facial hair, but then it grew on me. My name's Victor Ashley, and I'm a real estate agent with Skyline Properties. You could reach me directly at 425-559-4590. Please like, subscribe, follow, and you can also send a text to that number that I just gave you. Hey, just want to say thank you. The channel's growing. We're over 55 subscribers right now. Really appreciate that. It's a journey. I've been really working on it this last month, and it seems to be something that kind of works for everybody. And again, I'm not sure who this information is for, but it might be important to you. So that's the reason why I go over these things. It's a home buying journey. This is, a beginner buyer course and a little bit on the advanced side. So I just want to say thank you again, and hopefully you get some sort of value out of the content I put out. Okay, so let's go over some things. Yesterday, if you didn't notice, I put out a video for people that make between $60,000 and $80,000, and they qualify for an FHA or also a USDA, but they also have another thing called the down payment resource. Now, I'm going to put a link to that right here. It's in this card. And hopefully that came through, but I do all the editing, so hopefully we figured that one out. But that was just an intro for some of the people that make between $60,000 and $80,000, because the reason why I don't review the $1 million houses, and this is something I haven't covered in a week or two, but I don't review the $1 million houses because the buyer curve, the majority of people make in the areas that I look at between $80 and $140,000. So just to give you an idea, I try to keep it in that area, in that range, and I don't review the $1 million houses because you just can't afford those kind of things. So now that we're in the Crown Hill neighborhood today, the Crown Hill neighborhood, North Seattle, 98117. Let's go through what we have, and then hopefully this answers some questions for you. Okay, so I got it pulled up, and we're going to share my screen. So again, what I was going through in my little description real quick, but what we have for the regular, according to the Census Bureau for 2021, the capita average household in the 98117 only makes $147,000 a year. That's the medium household. Okay, so that's like the average household of everybody that's out there. So they take the renters, they take the home buyers, they take everybody, everyone from one person, renting a house to somebody have 4 or 5 roommates kind of thing. But the average household is $147,000. Now I did some math for you earlier, and hopefully you could see this in my screen, but with today's rates in the 7s and about 7 to 7.4, depending on where you're at, and also your credit range, a couple other things, and your down payment, with $60,000 down and making $147,000, and your minimum monthly bills being about $250 a month, that's just credit card debt kind of thing, you would only be qualified for $535,000 roughly purchase price. So when I was talking about why I don't review the $1 million houses, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. So on this, though, let's go and see what that actually looks like. But your monthly mortgage payment is roughly $3,300 a month if you were to purchase that home for roughly $535,000. So I just want to give a quick overview of what the capita makes and what kind of house that they can afford in this area. Because if you look at our average today, our average for the Crown Hill neighborhood today for the last day of February, our price per square foot is $550, but an average house in that area from the 22 that are available right now on market is $795,000. It's been on the market for 98 days. It's almost 3 beds. So let's just call it 3 beds, 2 bath. And it's just a little under 1,500 square feet. And it's been on the market since a week before Christmas. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what that is. The average house on market right now because again, this is an aggregate of the 22 that are available. And now let's actually see what that looks like on the purchase side. So to afford something like that, you're going to be needing to be making, depending on your down payment, and that's the other thing about this, if your down payment's higher, then you don't have to make as much money a year. But to afford a house of that caliber and keep the down payment about the same amount, what that's going to look like is $225,000 a year with the same amount of debt, roughly, and the same size of your down payment. And that would actually put your down payment close to 8 or 9%, just depending on how it is. But typically, you want between 5 and 10% on your down payment, depending on your loan type. And again, like I said, there is specific things for FHA, USDA, and the down payment assistance, and that was in the card that I provided earlier. So I just wanted to go over that. This is what you actually have to bring to the table, about $60,000, $225K a year to actually buy that house that we're talking about is our theoretical average. Okay, so and then what that mortgage looks like, it looks like $730,000 on the mortgage side. So your payment is going to be roughly $5,200 plus your taxes and insurance. This doesn't include any HOAs. So now that we kind of covered that, let's actually look at our houses and our average. So our average price per square foot of the 22 that are available under $1 million comes to $550 a square foot. So of the ones that are below our average, there's 9 of them. We're only going to review 2 or 3 of them today just for the sake of time, because these reviews can just get too long. So I just wanted to go over a couple of ones quick. Let's review one that's pretty new. It came out this week. It's number 23. And again, I really want to say thank you to everybody for this. I'm really starting to grow at this. I'm getting a lot of good comments. And again, the channel's small, so just please drop a comment, text me. Actually, shoot me an email if you want. My information's in the description below. And the main reason is I do listen to you. And as a licensed real estate in Seattle, you want to have somebody that actually can take a little bit of time and help you with these kind of things. So that's why I'm doing this. So here we go. So it's only been on the market for 4 days, so don't fall in love with it yet, okay? But 3 beds, 1.5 bath, 223 square feet, 2,200 square feet. And it comes in just under $1 million, okay? Now, our price per square foot on this is $446, and it was built in 1910. So it's very old, okay? Now, one of the things that we run into with these older houses is there's definitely some maintenance that is still needed, possibly. But this house looks like it's been completely remodeled, or the upkeep's been done. So just keep in mind, there might be something inside it that you just don't know yet. We still recommend a home inspection. We're not in the place in the market like we were a year ago when people were waiving their inspections or just signing over their earnest money. Again, I wouldn't recommend that, but that is something that your own real estate agent or financial advisor is going to be able to help you with. And again, if you have any questions on it, you could just reach me directly, or you can hire me and I'll be happy to show you any of these houses. So yeah, everything looks really nice. We got the cherry wood. We have some of the white quartz. It looks like maybe granite. I believe that's quartz, but it's a good looking house. It's very big, very spacious. This is a 1910 Craftsman. And like I said, this is below the market. This is about $443 a square foot. So this is $110 underneath the market. And more than likely, this is something that we've been seeing is some coming onto the market are undercutting the ones that are currently on the market. And even though this is an older house, the upkeep's really high on this. So I would actually think that this thing actually goes for closer to 1.1 or $1,050,000 roughly, just depending on where it is. Now, it's really hard to actually keep track of all the ones that I do review, but one of these days I do want to go back and I want to actually pull some of these up and see if how close I was when they actually go off market and they get bought. But here's something that we haven't seen in a bit, but again, because it is quite a bit lower than market, they put an offer review date in here. The offer review date is actually tomorrow. I'm surprised that they put it in for tomorrow. They probably thought that they had a whole week on it. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Usually you don't do an offer review on Wednesday. You want to have a little bit of foot traffic coming in over the weekend. So just surprising. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. It is vacant. If you have any questions, we could go take a look at it. There's no open houses, but again, we have to review it by tomorrow. But at the same time, where we're at on market, houses are sitting on the market for on average 98 days. They're trying to get this thing moved as quickly as possible, and they're 20% under market right now. So keep that in mind when you actually look at these things. You don't want to get bit by the FOMO bug. You just really don't want to have that fear of missing out and go and buy something that you're not equipped and ready for yet. So we want to educate you the best we can in this. Okay, so here's one that's a little bit below market, and it's been on for 72 days, number 13. So number 13, let me get to it real quick. And again, I haven't said this in a bit, but this is not a buy or sell recommendation. This is just my general expertise or opinion on these. And again, I'm not advising you unless you hire me directly. Okay, so here's one that's been on, I've reviewed it before, but this is a townhouse. It looks like it's on the end unit. It's been on the market for $820,000, and now it's been reduced to $800,000. Okay, our price per square foot is $512, and it's been on the market for 72 days. Okay, so this gives you an idea, new construction house versus the old house. The other house that we just reviewed, it was 113 years old, 113 years old. And then this one is, quite a bit younger, brand new, no new, it's all new construction. So there's very little that might be wrong with it. Okay, so they reduced it from 820 to 800. And let's take a look at the inside real quick. But I actually reviewed this one before. This is just a townhouse. These are rectangle lots. These are rectangular units. It's you got your entry level, your main living level, and then you have your sleeping area usually on the top. Typically, we don't see people that have any kind of elderly persons that in the family that want to do it because of all the stairs. So keep that in mind. Usually this is not something that is, geared towards anybody with any kind of mobility issues. It's not just the elderly. But I just wanted to show you how clean it looks on the inside. And it's a very good looking house. And I believe that it is, they have an open house on this on Sunday between 1 and 3. And if you have any questions, you could go take a look at it, or you can, ask me to go with you and take a look at it also. Okay, and we'll do just one more. Let's take a look at one other condo that just came on, and it is number 2. Okay, so this condo came on 5 days ago. And again, when I was saying earlier about the offer review dates, this one doesn't have an offer review date. Okay, so this is a brand new listing that just came onto the market. It's 2 beds, 1 3/4 bath. And it's 1,343 square feet. 5 days on market, $600,000. Now, if you remember my average capita, this is something that would work for the average person that lives in this area. Okay. And again, this is doable for a lot of different people. This is something that's pretty close to my price range personally. So let's just take a quick look at it. Okay, so conventional VA, let's take a look on the inside. They got a picture of Mount Rainier. That's great. But, today it actually snowed outside. So I want you guys to know, weather can be all over the place out here. Inside, it looks like a pretty decent looking unit. Definitely has some upgrades, been remodeled some sort, a little bit of a quartz countertop. It does have some tile work in there. So it looks really nice. Everything looks clean. This is probably late 2000s, 20-aughts kind of kitchen. Looks pretty nice. It might have been a little bit of a remodel. It looks like it's an inside hallway unit. So this is the unit right here, number C. Here's A, there's D, there's B. So it's interior entrances. You don't open to the outside. And it looks like a fairly decent size ceilings for a condo. So that's something that a lot of people usually have an issue with a condo, is they kind of feel like they're stacked on top of each other. But yeah, that's a pretty nice little unit there. There's no open houses this weekend there, but I might call them and see if I could set one up, just because I want to actually go to it myself. But if you have any questions, please reach me at 425-559-4590. It looks like there's a rental cap on here. Okay, so, and I haven't talked about this before, but a rental cap is when there's a certain amount of units inside of a townhouse community or an HOA of some sort, or any kind of like condominium. There's a limit on how many you can have as rentals, and that's called a rental cap. Okay, some places don't have a rental cap, some do. This one in particular has one. One is allowed to be rented out as a renter. So currently at this time, the rental cap's not met. So this is something that might pique the interest on somebody that's buying a second home to rent out. I haven't gotten into that, but we'll talk about it later at a later point in time. So 1999, it was built. And again, the kitchen, like I was saying, that's kind of what it looked like. And price per square foot is $446 per square feet. So you could see right now how both the 113-year-old house as well as this 20-year-old condo are undercutting the market in this area. So this is very important to watch, because more than likely the condo is going to go in a week or two, and more than likely somebody's going to pick up the larger house that's older. But these other ones are still sitting on the market. These 22, potentially might stay on the market because they're not under or close to the market average. So just keep that in mind. It is something that I'm watching. Definitely things are shifting in this kind of thing. Originally, last year, at the beginning of the year, we were still in a seller's market. Today, I don't think that we're anywhere near a seller's market. We're at 98 days on market in this zip code. And keep in mind, you keep on hearing that people are getting multiple offers or things are going in the first week. They're going like that when they're underpriced by 20%, like the two that we just talked to today. So if you have any questions, please call me, text me, please like, follow, subscribe, and I'd be happy to answer more of your questions. And it was a pleasure working with you today. I really hope that you have a wonderful day, and thank you for supporting me.